some things have happened. I kind of threw out my back. It's still not 100%, but we'll figure it out. Let's get some fire because it's still cold in here. Yes, I'm doing it the Fonzie way. No vouchers yet? What a shame. All right. All right, is there any other small little buenables around here? All right. I'll try to use up the rest of this charcoal. There's not much left. Then we should be able to move on to coal. All right, let's see what that gives us. And good morning, Alan. How are we doing today, brother? I know it's been a while, and I mostly apologize for that. It seems that January is usually the slow month, so I tend to take that off, and then, well, the rest of this month just kind of sucked ass. So here we are. What about yourself? What have you been up to? And more importantly, did you get that firebox working for the house? I know you were having issues with that. We got 3 people in here watching. Say hello, say something. Join the conversation, join the fun. I know there's not much fun yet, but we're getting there, I promise. And 11, all right. I wonder how many total we'll get this week. Seeing as how long it's been since I've been in. I think I want to get that a little hotter before we add the coal. And Danielle loves you. Hi. And what am I doing? Right now I am starting the forge. I am going to be working on some spoons that a spoon that I started to work on way back when. So we have the rudiments of a spoon cup. Where am I? I am in Northeast Pennsylvania, near Scranton. Where are all you guys from? Where are y'all watching from? And this is the stick part of it. Stick part? I don't know. But I want to forge this out a wee bit more. I want to put a Byzantine heart on the end. And Danielle. Oh, and Melon John. I'm watching from America. I'm in America, and I'm sorry. And Alan, working on a RBG currently. What is that? And Eddie, you're from New Mexico. Cool. So, yeah, I want to put a Byzantine end on this. I'm going to flatten this down a little bit more. And then I want to see if I have the time. I don't know if I do. I'm going to try and put a band of copper inlaid and then give it a twist. That way it can work as a swizzle stick for a barista. There's 3 or 4 like this that I need to make. So I should be decent at making spoons in about 20 years. All right. Put some coal in here. I believe this might be the last of my coal. So whatever this takes is what we're going to be getting this year. No, I'll just go to my dealer next week. First time it'll have to be next weekend. But we do have more charcoal over here if we need it to finish off today. See that lovely little smoke? That's got to be nice. And Alan, rubber band gun for Jill. Just sent you a pic. Well, unfortunately, I cannot watch that and do this live stream at the same time. All right, so let's get a little power into that because the anthracite does not like this smaller, does not like the smaller bellows. I need build a bigger set like I have for the mobile smithy. And always try and protect your hearing, kids. Maybe I'll let it go too long. Hope not. Well, that would be why he's not doing anything. Fill out. There we go. Much better. It looks cool. Well, thank you. Thank you much. I'd say the first thing to do would be to forge out that Byzantine heart. And then we'll see how far back, we're going to create that step down or not. And then we'll do the inlay. Let's get this out of the way just because don't want to smash it. That'd be quite warping in my part. So while we're waiting for this to warm up properly, oh, almost there. What is everyone doing? Let's see. Let's point this down so you can see both of them. See the end of them? All right. You subscribed. All right. Thank you much. I love getting new subscribers. Right there should probably be the end. Oh. Yahtzee. This back in. We'll just set it on top for a minute. Let's find find one of the chisels. There we go. Swap out for the heavy hammer. And Brianna, freeze. Yeah, well, it's cold out. Alan, need to get some new belts ordered for the belt sale. Yeah, I know how that goes. There's my mark. problem with doing this in the cold and having a cold animal is I lose the heat like that. Let's see, when did I start doing this? I started about 22 years ago. I was in high school and I wanted to have a knife for camping. My father said, no, if you want one, go make it. Thinking that I wouldn't. And that's pretty much been how I ended up learning and doing most things in my life. Spite. Sky here. And yours up. Hi, hello. Sky, sky. I know a sky. All right, let's get that back in there. We should be able to finish that off relatively quickly. Nice and easy. Archive, my friend. That's where I know you from. We were talking about salad tails the other day. Do I have my salad here or is that at the house? That is at the house, but no kill today. A little too cold for that. All this stuff down here kind of shrivels up. How did you get the stuff to make it? I just did it. You know, I made my first forge. Out of basically nothing, I more or less taught myself. Mostly thanks to the guys on the archive where I met Sky. All right. We're almost perfectly. That'll take just a moment, so let me switch over to a different chisel, a little bit sharper. Thought I'd come by. Well, I appreciate you coming by, man. It is awesome to see someone I know actually join the stream. A few little holdouts here, and we should be able to split this and start on the potatoes here. There we go. Normally I'd clean this up, but this is so small I don't want to lose any mass. So what we're going to be doing is just forging it like this. Is there somebody with you? Why? I'm talking to a camera. Miss Danielle Lumpy. Yawn fuck. Oh. Sorry, my archive name isn't Sky. Correct. Whoop. Well, why would it matter if someone's here or not? You are all the way in wherever you are. That one's bent out of the way, and let's try a little something here. Now I do have. Oh, you're from Germany? Huh. Now I do have a gas forge over here. But I like using the solid fuel forge because it's more precise in its heat, even though it's a much older system. That's pretty good on that. Just want to draw that out to a nice little point. And Jennifer, you're back. Welcome back. Again, sorry the absence has been so long, but you know, between it being bitter cold and a slow season in January, and then the last couple of weeks just sucking, I'm sorry I haven't been here. And what am I making? I'm making a swizzle stick for a barista. Let's take this one and bring this out of the way. Let's see it back up. Probably with cold tools, as soon as they touch your work, it just takes the heat right out. It's kind of there we go. And it's been warm here. Well, good for you. It has not been warm here. And if it's a commission or a gift or just practice, this is a commission. Not every commission makes it onto the live stream, but a lot of you do end up making it there. If I think it's interesting and I can give you a good amount of information about something, it makes it into the live stream. If it's a little bit more esoteric, it usually doesn't. Is it snowing where I'm at? Yes. It just started snowing on my way up here. It wasn't too bad for most of this morning, but I can kind of see outside just a wee bit, and it looks like it's starting to get a little bit worse. Not critically bad, but not great either. All right, now let's try and put a little round over on these. Just makes them look a little bit nicer and tidier for the end client. I like scrolls or scrolled pieces, if I can, to have at least a round-ish profile. Nothing has to be perfect, mostly because the more perfect I end up making things, the less people believe they're handmade. And can you play it? Or you've been doing that? What? Can I play what? And how do you know how many inches? How many inches of what? And let's see. Jennifer, what the fuck? We got one dusting of snow a few weeks ago. Yeah, so how I blew my back out last week, I was trying to do a live stream last week, is I had about 14 inches of snow and ice on the driveway out front. And that kind of ruined my day. Man, I got it. Most of it, at least. It's roughly the same length. I want to round this one over just a little bit more. And should we do the scrolling of it now, or should we wait till we're a little bit further along in the step? We're only 20 minutes in. It looks like a tuning fork almost. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many things look like one thing right before it changes. Like on my lathe, things either look very specifically like they're going to the entire time, or they look like a butt plug right until you're done with it. And that's just how it looks. And thank God this show is not made for children. That would get canceled so fast. And do you commission toys like that? Yes, I do. I commission anything and everything. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, I make everything but financial decisions. Well, fire maintenance never hurt anybody. Now, where is my Hardy? Hot cut Hardy. There she is. But those are all very private commissions, so that's not something that would pop up on the live. So, and Luna Fennec. It sucks it's not for kids. Well, it's good and bad. Well, I think the whole not for kids thing is mostly for YouTube to say they have some sort of controls on what they're doing, even though they really don't. And Jennifer, you've got the mind of the child. Yeah, I know. We've had conversations before. You're a 14-year-old boy. Got it. And do I do custom fitting? No, he doesn't. The whole custom fittings thing would be, yeah, it's usually not something I provide. Sometimes, but not really often. Now, let's just do a quick little hot cleanup here. Not much there, just a little nicer. Then we'll do the little scrolly here in just a moment. Do I have my scrolling tongs? It looks like I do not. Okay. We'll do this the old-fashioned. And another message held for review. Jay, did I call you a 14-year-old boy? Well, you got the humor of one. Thankfully, so much. Now, I believe a Byzantine scroll starts like this. And you know what? Let's just do one at a time. Let's start it over this. Never done scrolls on this small material before, so it's going to be a little difficult. Well, I have, but never without some stuff here. Let's cool that whole thing off, and we're gonna just start from the heat from scratch. That way I can better control things just a little bit here. Now remember, you can do that with mild steel. If you try to do that with higher carbon steels, you just get pain and suffering. Supposed to be going to a cafe after this, and hopefully the weather is nice enough to do so. All right, see, that's a much nicer, more cooperative heat. Still too close to being in the way. Maybe I'll show these. This show and hide and stuff just never seems to work out very well on mobile. Maybe it works better on desktop. I don't know. That's much easier now. All right. But as weather allows, I'm going to be doing these regularly again, so hopefully it all works out nicely. That's where we're at on that one. I think that's good enough. So we're going to heat this whole thing back up, flip this guy down, flip this guy up, and do it here. And I know the client wants this to be about 12 inches, which is commensurate with the normal swizzle stick, I guess. I'm going to be honest, I did not do the... I probably didn't do enough research on this beforehand, but that's fine. But if he doesn't like it, then I'll either give it to my partner, give it away on here, or use it for myself. Because I enjoy things. I've never had a swizzle stick. So maybe I'll keep this one for myself anyways. Just cut. There it is. See, now the trick is getting these to match, at least not perfectly, but close enough. Usually the second one goes a little bit faster than the first. And yes, I know I need to redo this whole thing, reline the whole forge, and blah 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 blah. I know, but that is a job for proper springtime. The hardest part is always forming the first part of the curve. After that, it gets a little bit easier. You can be a little bit more aggressive with it. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. And if we lose the fire after this and we can't get it back, that's fine. Because doing the grinding and the inlay and all that jazz, that's cold work anyways. So we'll see what happens. A little bit more on this one, I think. I think that looks pretty close. What was I chained her? No. But I've watched enough. And I did say at a Holiday Inn once. That is the commercial, right? Holiday Inn? Or was it Motel 6? I think it was Motel 6. Close enough. Get that whole thing nice and hot. We'll get this done and together. So pretty. Well, thank you. This will look real good once I got the copper in there. It's all twisted. I think it's going to be a really pretty piece. No idea what the client's selling them for, and that's probably better. Now this one is a little bit longer, so we're going to try and take that in just a touch. Now I'm starting to lose the fire here. Let's grab some more coal. It's cold, baby. Oh. Well, that's it, folks. So whatever we get here is what we get. Lovely coal dust, good for the lungs. Whoop, I hit the thing today. No, we did. I think when I do get the time to take this down, strip it, and put the whole thing back together, I think what's going to end up happening is I'll make a long form video on it and show you all the parts and pieces. I will also, I think, be redoing my bellows because, like I said previous, the bellows that are at the on the mobile forge, on the mobile smithy, can handle anthracite all day. It's all just a question of airflow and air volume. And I can't imagine being outside for longer than a few minutes. It's freezing. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it is freezing. I've been in much colder places forging. Before Christmas, I did 2 shows. One down at Eckley's Mining Village, which was about 6 or 7 degrees with the wind chill. And then I did a show a couple days before Christmas where with the wind chill it was -1. It was also at night, which it was really cool. It was also cold as shit. But it proved that I can still reach forge welding temperatures in that kind of environment. So you have to say that, I have to say, at least for myself, that's pretty damn impressive. Let's tighten this guy up a little bit. A little bit more. I'm so worried I'm going to burn this off. Which has happened before. That's not perfect, but I think that's as close as I'm going to get. At least on this thing. And yeah, that was so cold. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna heat these guys up, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna close that into the heart position. Hopefully it'll be good enough. We'll see. There we go. A little bitty Byzantine height. Hopefully the client thinks that's cute enough. Now I'm going to cool this whole thing down. I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. Now, the good thing about using, it's even kind of warmed down at the far end. The good thing about using a coal forge is also the bad thing about using a coal forge. If I need to leave, I could stop pumping the bellows, or I could pull the thing. But in a few moments, it's completely extinguished. I love it. It turned out to thank you. I was nervous as hell doing. The bad thing is, if I turn this off to try and save the coal, as soon as that's so freaking pretty. Thank you. If I try and turn this off to try and save the coal, it'll die almost instantly, and it'll be a whole pain in the ass to restart it. And it's cold, so we only got 15, 18 minutes left. We're just gonna leave it on and hope for the best. Let's just dry that off real quick. All right, that's good enough. We'll start down here and go up to the top. We're going to use my favorite Daikin Blue. Are you going to do the twist or not? Yes, I am. I need to inlay the copper. We're just going to do copper on one side for this one, just so the twist looks a little bit more dramatic. And I know I should have ground this and stuff and cleaned it up a little bit better, but we're just going to see what we can do. So there's the Daikin. We're going to let that cool off nice and good. And let's see what we're at here size-wise. We're at about just under 3/16 of an inch. So it's what, 4, 5, 30 seconds. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take I'm going to take a set of calipers, cut that in half again, and then scribe a line down the center and try my best to follow it. We'll see what happens. If I can find them. It's been a moment since I've been in here, so I somewhat apologize for me not knowing where things are. Because my life is a chaotic mess. But it's nice that way. Keeps things interesting. Here we go. Good. I checked to see if it was just on the off chance that I got lucky. I didn't. Let's see, we're at 5:30 seconds. So it'd be what, 5/64? Let's call that right about there. Nope. Yeah, just because I'm not doing it perfect, I'm going to flip this over. And then I'll use the average of the two lines to give me a good enough center. And since this is only supposed to be 12 inches long, we can measure this now. We're going to measure from the bottom of the ornamentation. And there's the 12 inches. So we're good. So I'll stop around here somewhere, and I'll stop around there somewhere. I know it's semi-arbitrary what I'm doing. That's okay. Stop there. And I stop right there. And that way it leaves me enough meat to put my maker's mark on the top back. Alright. There we go with that. That. It's going to get a wee bit loud. I am kind of sorry, kind of not. We'll see what goes on. All right, now that we got the initial channel done, now we need to undercut it, so it's kind of a almost like a dovetail. And now for the other side. You can see some steel's burning in there. I don't know what, but it is. Let's just do a little fire maintenance here. Because we might at least be able to get to the twist. Now, do I have a piece of wire long enough? More there, that's good. We do have to heat this up past its critical temperature to anneal it. And see that beautiful green glow? That's pretty much what we're looking for. Once this glows a nice bright orange, it's more than soft enough. And unlike steel or ferrous metals, this is the opposite way to temper, or no tempering, to anneal, because it will not harden when you quench it. Which is quite nice. Got about 8 minutes. You might be able to get this in there and twist it. Maybe. All right. And you want this dead soft, so it'll, you think I can do it? All right, I love the encouragement. You want this dead soft so that when it gets in there, it'll spread apart and lock into that dovetail. Though, I am going to have to drop you all the way down real quick because I need to do this on my knees because my back is about to go. All right, so now we got that in there. Add just a little bit extra to the front. And I never start right from the center of, or right from the edges. I always start a couple inches in. That way it kind of presses the right ways. Putting the glove on right now. All right, let's just get it mostly locked in, and then I can stand up and finish that job. Son of a bitch. Well, there goes that. Broke off. Oh, he saw it before I did. Damn. I was worried that was going to happen. Well, we can still twist this up, and we still have enough material up here to try it again. That just, Damn. It's part of the fun of being a maker. All right. Well, we still have enough meat on this end to try again. So we'll see what we can do. And this is why I charge $135 an hour. Or no, sorry, this is $175 for custom work. Because sometimes shit just breaks. See? Damn. Sorry, man. Well, hey, that's why I charge so much, and that's why I give such long lead times on products. Because sometimes this just happens. And again, it's accounted for. Always. Because you have to. Alright, that started to come out. So I'm just re-annealing it, and we're going to plop it all back in. This might be a sign that I didn't cut things in. Yeah, I didn't cut it in well enough. Shouldn't be able to do that. So today was a failure. Listen, shit happens. And I'm still relatively new to the whole Inlay game. Okay, pop that out and pop that out. So I'm going to call that a day. You got this. Yeah. Like I said, it's a lot of it is a learning process. I screw up a lot. You learn, you move on. Still a little disheartening when it happens, but this is a small mess up, not a big one. And it looks like we're ending right on time anyways. If it went well, I'd probably be pushing this longer and longer till I got something done. So 2 failures, one after another. I think that's peak time to call it a day. Anyways, 1 hour on the dot. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to support me, like, subscribe, comment on things. I'm trying to shoot new video for long form content. Like I'm doing a crown right now that's turning out really well. I don't want to jinx it. For a good friend of mine. It's actually the same client who is requested the spoons. So, But I have a Patreon, I have a TikTok, Facebook, and obviously here, where I try and do a live stream every Sunday and sometimes intermittently throughout the week, depending upon the weather and the condition of the shop and my mental health. Yeah, I have a bunch of shows coming up in the very near future. My calendar is quickly filling up. So as those get closer, I will be announcing them one after another. And if you want to buy some of the stuff I make or some merch, go over to Union Vapors in Dixon City. Amazing guys, some great friends of mine. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Thank you for helping make this world better. One kerf for time, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.